House Republicans making a last-ditch effort during this lame duck session to talk to both Comey and to Lynch. But Comey firing back right away in a tweet this Thanksgiving morning. I want to read it to you. He says, "Happy Thanksgiving. Got a subpoena from House Republicans. I'm still happy to sit in the light and answer all questions, but I will resist a, quote, closed door thing because I've seen enough of their selective leaking and distortion. Let's have a hearing and invite everyone to see." And I also got a follow-up statement from his lawyer, who is ready to take this to court, saying that he embraces and welcomes an open hearing. But because of this abusive process, Mr. Comey will resist in court this abuse. And so we don't know yet how Loretta Lynch, the former Attorney General, will respond to this. But of course, it all may be for naught when Democrats take back the House in January. Pamela.
All right, Laura, thank you so much for that. I want to bring in CNN legal analyst Jennifer Rogers. Jennifer, thanks for coming on the show. I mean, off the bat here, Comey is tweeting that he is happy to testify, but not behind closed doors. Is his concern about selective leaking justified?
It definitely is, Pamela. There's no question that there's been massive leaks with hearings in the past, and Comey insisted before to testify in public. So I think his concern is right. I think his insistence on a public hearing is right. You know, he hasn't been FBI director for a long time. There's really nothing that hasn't been already gone over with a fine-tooth comb. This looks more like a lame duck committee chair pulling a Hail Mary here to try to do something political before they lose their positions there. And especially in the wake of reporting that the president tried to actually prosecute Comey, or at least was thinking about prosecuting Comey, you know, for what, who knows, but it makes it seem more and more like this is really just a political stunt and not the basis of any legitimate investigation going on in that committee.
But looking at the other side for the committee, what would be the reason they would need to do a closed-door briefing with Comey and with Loretta Lynch? Would it be because they would need classified information? I mean, what would be their reasoning?
That is the reason for closed-door hearings. You know, the director of the FBI, and in Loretta Lynch's case, the former Attorney General, of course, are privy to all sorts of classified information. And if they were testifying about matters that shouldn't be public, either because they're classified or just confidential for some reason, then they would need to be behind closed doors. But there's been so much public testimony from James Comey, at least already. It doesn't seem to me like anything they would be legitimately looking into couldn't be public, or they could always take a small portion of it into closed session.
So James Comey, attorney, calls the subpoena process an abusive process, a divergence from House rules, and its presumption of transparency. What's the case they'd have to prove here? As Laura said, they clearly are willing to take this to court.
Well, what's most likely to happen, Pamela, especially considering the timing of the turnover of the committee, is the clock is going to run out. So, you know, they have a subpoena outstanding. David Kelly, the lawyer for Jim Comey, will challenge the subpoena, and, you know, you'll take it to court. But in reality, you know, they're going to get a court date a couple of weeks out. By the time this all kind of starts to shake out, the clock will run out, and the Dems will take over the committee and probably withdraw the subpoena, or at the very least make the subpoena make the hearing a public one.
How long could this fight go on for? You think it's just sort of they're doing this last-ditch effort during the lame duck, or could it go on beyond?
I don't think it will, because I don't think the Democrats are going to find any reason to speak to Comey yet again. So I think they probably will end up withdrawing it. You know, if they didn't, I don't think there will be a fight. So either way, I think once the Democrats take over this committee, they'll either have him in an open hearing testifying, or they just will withdraw the subpoena altogether. I can't imagine what they possibly need him for at this stage, given how much he's testified already.
All right, Jennifer Rogers, thank you so much.
Thank you.